So in this video, we're going to be talking about one specific chicken breed that will absolutely be the best for your farm. They're called the Buff Orpington, and let's check them out. Alright, so if you don't know what a Buff Orpington is, this is one right here. I'm hoping you'll be able to see. The Buff Orpingtons, they're yellow chickens. They're pretty cute chickens. But it's not only that, but they also lay a significant amount of eggs per year. Say about 275 to 300 eggs per year. So they lay most of the year, actually. Despite what Google tells you, they lay about 275 eggs a year. Google says they lay 190. But let's continue talking about them. So they're not only that, but they're also really friendly. And yeah, let's talk about that real quick. Alright, so Buff Orpingtons, they don't take a while to actually age. And my personal experience with Buff Orpingtons has been very positive. So here's what I've had an experience. So here's how I've experienced them. So basically what happens is they will always come up to you. This is for basically all my chickens. But the Buff Orpingtons were the ones that were leading this. And basically what the Buff Orpingtons did was they would come up to me. They would like run up to me and just quickly running up to me. And then basically, you know, they weren't like aggressive. They weren't like looking for treats. They wanted to clean off my legs. And yeah, sometimes I'll be like out in the forest with shorts on, and I'll get on some I'll have seed pods just stuck to my leg. And basically what they'll do is they'll just let you, and if you sit down, make sure there's no chicken crap in that area, but you just want to sit down, and they'll come over there and they'll start to, you know, bite off some of this stuff. And the Buff Orpingtons were the ones that led this back in late 2020 until eventually all these other chickens caught on. And yeah, if you can properly guess what the next two breeds of chickens I'll be talking about is, I will give you a shout out. Now let's talk about if they're good around everyone else. Buff Orpingtons are pretty easily adopted to other chickens, and they're pretty welcoming, because I remember back in May of 2021, so almost 2 years, about a year and a quarter ago. I don't know why I almost said almost 2 years ago, but yeah, about a year and a quarter ago, we had 3 new chickens: Gray Cloud, Sprinkles, and Falcon. Obviously, I think Falcon might be more of a mistake than I thought of back then, but back then was a different time. We didn't know he was a rooster for a good month and a half. And then, you know, what happened was the next day, these chickens, they weren't ready for egg laying yet, but I remember our Buff Orpington Lovey decided it would be a cool idea to show Sprinkles and Gray Cloud where the egg laying is. They show them around, you know. That's actually proof that Buff Orpingtons, they actually do pretty well around other chickens, but they also do well around ducks, and Gray Cloud's down there. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but Gray Cloud is that chicken wandering around down there. Buff Orpingtons are also really broody hens. So that means that if you want really good chickens to hatch out eggs, Buff Orpingtons are the way to go. Now Buffs, they're not only a good chicken for the family, they're not only a good egg layer, but they're also dual purpose chickens, meaning you can use them for both eggs and meat. However, they are a little bit on the smaller side, so that's why if I were to do meat chickens, which I probably will, I would likely stay around just one purpose meat birds, since Buff Orpingtons, they're not really big enough for that. I mean, seriously, Buff Orpingtons, they're not even that big. But roosters, on the other hand, yeah, they're pretty big. Now let's talk about roosters. Now Buff Orpington roosters they're pretty sizable, but it's not only that, but you don't really have to take their life just because they're annoying or something like that. They are actually probably the friendliest breed of chicken I've ever heard of. Same thing goes for the rooster. Of course, they're not going to become lovies, which is actually one of my Buff Orpingtons. But instead, what they'll become is they'll basically, sort of in a way, just come up to you. They'll greet you, but instead of running up to you and trying to absolutely destroy your legs like Waldo and Falcon do. Instead, what they'll do is they'll just, instead of doing that, what they'll do is they'll just, come up to you. They won't really do much harm. So Buff Orpington roosters, they're a great breed for roosters, and they're not terribly loud because I've been around them before, and they're not that big of a deal. But Buff Orpingtons, they are not good for dual purposes. So I'd recommend you stay around only one purpose and get more such as like Cornish Rexes for meat birds. Now, how do you tame a Buff Orpington chicken? Well, they usually tame themselves on their own. But if your chickens just simply won't tame, here are some things that you can do. So firstly, give them attention. Chickens are extremely sociable animals. They love having attention. And I'll show you why. Point A, point B, point C, and point D. There's my point. They love to be sociable. And chickens, not only are they sociable animals, but they also enjoy being given the attention. They also enjoy it whenever you are the one that gives them the feed and water, because they basically look up to you as a defender, sometimes even above the rooster. That's the pet flock for you. They look above and beyond the rooster, thinking that I'm much more powerful than him, because he's probably a lazy rooster. Yeah, he's like the first one in. Roosters are usually supposed to be the last one in. And since any chicken predator will probably run away the second it sees me near them, I think they should look up to me as their defender, or anyone else that's around my size, 5'5". Because, yeah, at that point you could just scare off any chicken predator. Oh yay, this clip's more than a minute long. Let's go. Yeah, let's think for a second. Like, how long did it take you to tame your chickens? Well, Buff Orpingtons takes under a week to tame, so yeah, I have 2 tutorials talking about that.